Welcome to ARW. I'm Harold, and we're going to do a different kind of review. Today we're going to be reviewing a compressor. This compressor is from ToAuto, and it's their model A3 PCP air rifle compressor. Now this compressor is rated for 4,500 PSIG, and that should fill practically, I'd guess, 90% of all the PCP air rifles, and maybe a lot of scuba gear too. I'm not really up on scuba gear. What we're going to do, we'll take a little tour of the compressor before we take it out and do a review on it. Not having an air rifle of my own or scuba gear either, I had to borrow an air rifle, and so we go out to my shooting club and meet the guy that owns several air rifles, and we'll pump up 3 of them. Alright, now 2 of them I don't have video of pumping up, but 2 of them I do. This is a vertical unit, and it comes with a hose with a desiccant chamber to keep your air dry going into your gun. It comes with several desiccant cartridges, O-rings and such for rebuilding things, and it comes with a manual which is not necessarily for this compressor because some of the instructions in it don't match. And it comes with a couple of rupture discs just in case you overpressure things. Alright, this is your slip-on connector. This compressor runs on AC and it runs on DC as with these cables to your battery. Okay, this little knob right here is to bleed off the air pressure before you disconnect the hoses. The DC connects right here. You unwind those cables and connect it there. This is where it shows the temperature of the compressor, and let's move up on the top and take a look what's up there. Up here on the top is the pressure gauge. This little dial right here that you can see me moving here, this is your maximum set point switch. When the pressure gets up to whatever you've got this set on, the compressor will turn off automatically. Alright, it's got a handle on top for carrying it, and there's not much to see on this other side, just vents for the fans, and back here there is a switch to switch from 110 to 220. So this one there, 115 I think is set on this one. This booklet gives you some information that's specific to this compressor and some that's not. For one thing, it tells you to, using the switch, turn on the fan for 3 minutes before you turn on the compressor. But the fan comes on automatically. There's no fan switch, so that's obviously for some other compressor. It tells you that the maximum temperature is 80 degrees Celsius or centigrade, whichever you like. The first day when I took this to the range, we ran it on DC from a car battery, and I pumped up one air rifle to I think it was about 4,000 pounds. And the second air rifle, the guy said no, he didn't want it over 3,500, so I pumped it up. Both of those started at 0 pressure because we had a fellow there with a little tool to bleed them off. But I didn't make video on that because I was concerned about the fan. The fan doesn't seem to come on when you're on DC, running on a battery. It runs just great when you're plugged into AC. It runs like a like a tornado. So let's just go ahead and plug it in and see what we see. Okay, you can hear the fan starting up. And the fan is quick. The fan on this one has been kind of inconsistent. When I plugged it in the AC here testing the fan. The fan ran, oh, it ran like a tornado. I took it to the range. We set this thing on a rifle rack, and I plugged it into an outlet that's out there under the cover, and fan run like crazy all the way through. We filled a air rifle that had a one of the really big bulbs of air on it, the big air tank. We filled it in about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and that was from 100 bar to 200 bar. That seems the guy shoots this, fills it to 200 bar and shoots it down to 100. That's approximately from 3,000 pounds down to 1,200 pounds. Although they say to start the fan before you do it, the fan is automatic on this one, doesn't have a switch. This is where you set the pressure you want to pump up the air rifle to. I think somewhere around 4,000 pounds is going to fit the one we've got. Alright, hopefully we can see the timer and the pressure both at the same time. There. Almost there. There you go.
Pardon me?
It took 1 minute 47 seconds.
To fill it to 47?
Yeah, 1 minute 47 to whatever that was, 3,000.
Oh,
Okay, so here we are. We're connected up to the battery. We've got the rifle on there, and we'll push the start button and see what we get. Let me get my phone out, we can time it. Okay, that was 3 minutes. So we went back once again today, and I connected this to my car battery, well actually my truck battery. We took an air rifle with a normal size air container, and we hooked it on there, and it took almost 2 minutes to fill it up. The fan didn't run at all, but the compressor didn't overheat. It got up around 40 or 50 something degrees, and we reached the pressure setting here and it turned off. So this compressor, I've seen reviews of these done by other people, and the fans all work fine. This compressor has something wrong with the fan, so I would say that that's a significant problem when you see reviews other people have done and their fans are working just great. I just happen to be the lucky guy that got one with a fault. This little knob on the side is the valve to let down the air pressure before you disconnect it. After you've pumped up an air cylinder, you've got this guy connected, You don't want to just pop it loose with it, 3,000 or 4,000 pounds on it. So you bleed off the pressure here and then disconnect the hoses. Now this hose has got a desiccant cartridge in it. It looks like a little cotton pad, but it's desiccant to keep your air dry. And you can see there's one in there. And it's probably not wet yet because I haven't seen any water come out of anything. On the front here you've got a fuse, you've got the connector for the DC, the button to turn on the compressor, and the connection for the air. Over here you have the temperature reading, and I'll start the compressor. Now this room is probably about 27 degrees, because it feels kind of warm to me.